as you wish.
Hello mothers of Mumbai and hello Universe of Moms. I hope you're seeing me live. Sorry for the delay. आपको पता है कि ये बारिश आ गई है दिवाली के टाइम में और हम सब फैंसी रेनकोट्स खरीदने जा रहे हैं बिकॉज दिवाली पे वी कांट वेयर our best of clothes and owing to that traffic बहुत बढ़ गया है and in fact we both were stuck in the traffic and that's why the delay. So I apologize from my side but I'm sure आप सब hooked हैं आज के live के लिए. अगर नहीं है तो please tag your friends, tell them that today's live is very very important. In fact, I feel all the mothers of entire universe should watch this live because I had a little introduction and some chat with Dr. Bansal here. I have with me Dr. Vandana Bansal, who is looking very pretty in her duster silk sari. She's a mother of two beautiful kids. एंड आपको पता चलेगा कि उनकी डॉटर जो है वो भी मेडिकल कॉलेज में है तो बहुत इंटेलिजेंट फैमिली है और आज मैम ने जो मेरे से कॉन्वर्सेशन किया है आई फील लॉट ऑफ मदर्स विल गेट बेनिफिटेड विद इट. So ma'am, let's start and before I really have you speak about it, I want to tell my mothers that it's such a privilege to sit here with you because she's not just a very talented doctor but she's also the first in India who's certified by National Board of Specialization in High Risk Pregnancies and also in fetal medicines, right ma'am? And since she's done this in year 2000, so that's 19 years of rich experience ma'am. Wow. And she's also the director of fetal medicine department of Surya Hospital. And in fact, thank you Surya for bringing these amazing doctors to us every month on month. And she's also a feto-maternal medicine specialist with a vast experiences of interventions. Now interventions क्या है, क्या करते हैं मैम, ये सारे question answers हम लोग करेंगे ताकि commoners like you and me will also understand what this beautiful lady has bring on the table. So ma'am, thank you and welcome to this Facebook Live with Mumo Mumbai Moms and Universe. Okay, ma'am, before I begin with the questions, I want to understand from you a very basic thing. हम लोग जब भी किसी obstetrician के पास जाते हैं या कोई gynec के पास जाते हैं when our mothers are pregnant, हम लोग एक checklist बनाते हैं before really going to a doctor that hospital pass करना चाहिए because we are in Mumbai. Second, maybe we see that is the doctor very qualified, is she very senior, he or she, या कोई recommendation है हमारी friends family का तो हम उसके पास जाते हैं. But because you are an expert in this domain, आपके हिसाब से क्या checklist होनी चाहिए जो mothers को, especially the ones who are about to conceive or conceive, should check out for? तो आपसे एक checklist जानना है पहले.
So I think what you said is correct that we need to have something which is nearby. We need to have a very senior obstetrician. But I think there's a lot more than just looking at place being nearby. Every pregnancy may be low risk, but every low risk patient can become high risk anytime.
Okay.
So you may say that, okay, I am a 24-year-old, I am a primary gravida, primary means first time pregnant. I have no disorders in my life, so I will go through pregnancy normally. I don't need any other big hospital.
Correct.
But I think anywhere, anything can go wrong. You might have leaking, you may have bleeding, something may go wrong, you may have some disorder which the baby comes up with, so you will need to have more specialized people. So your obstetrician is the most important, but you need to also have more things to look at. So when you're looking at that, one is that there is a new specialty of fetal medicine. Fetal medicine people are people who are looking at the fetus inside, what problems they have, the ultrasounds that are done, if there is an abnormality, you would look at that. And if there is an abnormality, you will need a whole team of geneticists, pediatricians, pediatric surgeons, everybody around you.
Okay.
So you will need a place where you have a fetal medicine department. Then if you by chance deliver early or you have a baby which is very small, you will have a very small baby coming out very early, you may need a good NICU. So you need a place where you have a good NICU. And if you deliver outside and bring the baby here, that transfer to the NICU will be a difficult time because that first hour is most important.
Okay.
So you need to have the mother and the baby delivered in the same hospital.
Okay.
So in addition to having a good obstetrician, a hospital which is good, you need to have a hospital which has a fetal medicine department, a good specialty neonatal team available, and an ICU good, and sometimes you may need some pediatric surgeons also and a geneticist. So it has changed now. It is not just a maternity hospital that you need to go. You need to go to a place where you have a good tertiary care center.
Even equipment.
Yeah. So you need to have ultrasound plus your NICU equipment. as well as everything around it. So ICU is also required. A mother can become hypertensive. First, mother can also become hypertensive. Hypertensive means blood pressure can go up very high, and so you may need an ICU team also. So you need a physician also sometimes. So you need to be at a place where everything is available, and it's your first pregnancy, and it's the most important pregnancy, and you need to have everything ready.
Correct. You don't want anything to go wrong. Okay, fantastic. So mothers, I hope you have noted this checklist. We are not really saying that go here, go there, but I have to say that because I have watched Surya Hospital very closely. The Surya is among those hospitals which has all this tick marks. Okay, and fantastic, ma'am. I'm more privileged to be here because I met you through Surya, and you talked about high risk pregnancies. Now ये सुन के ही हम सबको थोड़ा थोड़ा शिवर होता है. But tell me, what women, like per se, what kind of women do you think are at a high risk pregnancy? I've heard अगर आपका age ज़्यादा हो गया then you conceive. Is it a fact, not a fact, and what other factors?
So definitely when you are age more than 35, you become a high risk mother. And nowadays we all are in professions. We've gone through pregnancies only when we have reached beyond 35. Even I have gone through a pregnancy beyond 35 years. So we all kind of delay our pregnancies that we let us become professionally good and we go on.
Correct.
So elderly is something which has increased drastically.
Risk of pregnancy.
And these advanced pregnancies will have a little higher risk of genetic problem, higher risk for blood pressure, sugars, early miscarriages, late preterm, growth restriction, so small babies. So the most important is age more than 35 years.
Okay.
Second is if you have gone through an IVF pregnancies, again IVF is something it's very precious because it's happened after a long time, but then the risk is also more because you must be elderly because you've gone through IVF. You may have twins and triplets, you are at high risk. You may be hypertensive, diabetic, again puts you at high risk. So second. Third is maybe recurrent abortions.
Okay.
Those who have got many abortions, they can be in the first 3 months, it can be a little later on. Those who had babies which have died in utero, that means deaths have happened in utero. Or if they are small baby, previous baby which was small, or preterm babies. So obstetric history of previous pregnancy. So if that has been bad, we call it as bad obstetric history. That means babies who have come out abnormal or small or preterm or miscarriages, they all are at high risk. And if you are a diabetic, you are at high risk. If you are having blood pressure before pregnancy, you are at high risk. If you have multiple pregnancies, you are at high risk. If you have a family history of some genetic disorders, again you are at high risk.
So ma'am, in Mumbai Moms, we have area-wise WhatsApp group, but we've also started some groups which are theme-based, where there is a common denomination which is binding these mothers, and we have a group called Special Moms, where mothers with special children are there. And at times their first child is a special child. They don't know whether the second one would also have any kind of disorders, or is it, all okay, like, or is it a high-risk pregnancy again for you?
No, they are extremely important because you want to find out in that child what has happened. You have this group, they are feeding their babies and they are taking care. But we also want to find out whether these babies will have a sibling with the same problem or not. So there can be certain disorders which don't have a recurrence at all. That just happened by chance and it may not happen again. But there can be certain things which may happen again with a recurrence of as less as 1 to 2%, but as high as 25 to 50 to even 100%. So there may be different genetic disorders with different recurrence risk. Recurrence risk means what can happen again in the next pregnancy. So these mothers, especially, we want to see them before pregnancy.
Before even they conceive.
Before they conceive, because that is the time I can look at the first child and see whether they have got what disorder, and that same disorder we can test in the next pregnancy. So this is part of fetal medicine, that we want to know what the disorder is and find that out in the next.
Wow.
They come to us once they get pregnant and then they say baby has got some problem. But what is that some problem we want to find out. So it has to be done prior, but or at least prevention. Prevention, yes, and second is diagnosing it. So if I diagnose it in the 3rd month of pregnancy, we can put in a needle and test it, take out the tissue and test. So I can come to know this baby is normal or this baby has the same problem as the previous sibling. So if it is a previous disorder, we can't treat it, but maybe we can terminate it.
Yeah.
But the ones which are normal, then they know that this baby is normal and can be taken till term.
Okay.
So this is something which is available, especially for those who have a previous child with a disorder. Either that child is alive, but there can be some children which have not even gone beyond some days in the hospital. But they also, we can evaluate the parents and find out whether there is some disorder which is coming up from the family into the babies.
Okay.
They can be looked at.
So mothers, I'm sure you have taken a note of this, especially if you have a baby who had a previous child with any disorder. It's first, it's important to, before even conceiving, to come and see a doctor and make sure that you are conceiving in the right spirit and right medical condition. Right, ma'am, you were talking about high-risk pregnancy and also about special moms. Tell me when these women come to you. Like, for example, normal-aged women who can conceive very normally, and someone who's a senior, like say 35 plus, as you mentioned. How do you treat these women differently? Do you do different treatments to them, or is it the same?
So first is the ones who have high risk need to come a little early to us. So they need to come pre-conception to us, as I said, that all these mothers, we need to first control the baseline before they get pregnant.
Okay.
So
So
a low
before
risk
your
of-
baby moon, this is a previous moon.
You have to come previous moon to us when you start planning to conceive, because
Okay.
planning to conceive is, you will conceive and reach us later after your conception. The
Yeah.
baby would have formed before that.
Yeah.
So you need to get your body healthy before you conceive.
Yeah.
So if your BMI is high, that means you are obese, you need to get your weight down. If you are on any alcohol or caffeine or smoking, you need to reduce that down. If you are a diabetic, you need to get your sugars under control with medications which are allowed in pregnancies.
Okay.
If you are hypertensive, you need to get a health checkup done to know that your heart is good, your brain is, and your eyes are good, and your kidneys, and change your medications to the ones which are okay for pregnancies. Elderly, we want them to be at least looking at, there is a slightly higher risk of genetic disorders.
Right.
So they need to just understand that once they get pregnant, they may need some more tests than the general population.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get your baselines correct. If a patient is on convulsion medication, anti-epileptics, then you change to a medication which is better. So you first get your preconception counseling done, so that you are in a healthy body when you get pregnant, and start on folic acid before you conceive. So you will have to start folic acid, which prevents disorders before. So you start on folic acid 5 milligram, which is available in India, the 5 milligram tablet.
Okay.
So start it when you start planning. So you need to take that before planning. So
Yeah.
low risk and high risk, both you need to first get a preconception counseling. But the ones who are high risk may need to get altered with their medications and then get into a healthy
It's so
position.
fantastic because a lot of moms today, हमारे जब seniors हमारे grandparents या in-laws होते हैं वो हमेशा बोलते don't conceive late. But today, as you rightly said, because of the profession, women tend to conceive late. But this is a fantastic idea, mothers, that before getting into any high pregnancy space, you do a pre-conceiving counseling, which is great. And I suppose that's a tip which everybody will take home too. Ma'am, I am a mother of twins, okay, and there are a lot of them ask me कि normal twins है क्या? So they are definitely normal twins without really any treatments. But tell me, when I was conceiving them, I was not really looking out for things what we are discussing today. Is it a little different when you conceive with twins with multiples? Even I've heard my friend's case where one baby was growing abnormally in the fetus and the other one was normal. ऐसे cases में क्या कर सकते हैं? Because I'm sure a lot of mothers will be mothers with multiple pregnancies. So what's your advice there?
So again, multiple pregnancies have become quite high now
Yeah.
because of the boom of IVF. We have got. So one is we get these triplets and quadruplets and quintuplets coming in. So 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
We are looking for one child and we've been given 5, but none of those 5 can really go until term. So they are sent to us in the fetal medicine department to get them reduced to some. So we sacrifice some of them so that the others can grow on. So twins is what is the best to have. Triplets and quadruplets have a very high chance of preterm pre-ODs.
Okay.
So if it is twins also, it's a little higher risk than the general singleton pregnancy.
Okay.
So now these twins are of two types. One is when they are genetically same, that we call as identical twins.
Correct.
And the other are those non-identical.
Yeah.
So the non-identical or fraternal have less risk, but the ones which are identical have got more risk
Yeah.
in terms of everything in the obstetrics.
Okay.
So these babies, both of them can have one baby being normal and one being genetically abnormal
Yeah.
or structurally abnormal, that means they have some malformation,
Okay.
or one may be growing smaller than the other.
Okay.
So here it's most important to monitor them on ultrasound.
Okay.
So if it is a genetic disorder, you can test both the babies and find out which baby is abnormal.
Okay.
And if it is abnormal, you may want to terminate that pregnancy and continue the one which is normal.
Mhm.
One baby is
Correct,
good, so
growing
one
normal,
baby
yeah,
can be
yeah.
allowed to grow when one has a genetic problem.
So one has to go through two surgery. One is during
It's
the
not a
pregnancy.
surgery, these are all ultrasound guided
Wow.
procedures. So they're just needles that we are putting in to
Great.
test also, and a needle to reduce them down.
Oh.
So they're not major surgeries. The risk is as less as 1 to 2%
Wow.
and not very high risk, but at least then you have one baby which can
Yeah,
grow,
which is good,
and
yeah.
you don't need to have a baby which will have a poor quality of
later.
and poor quality of life for that child also. no?
Okay. Yeah. Correct. Correct.
And second, if you have two babies and one is small and one is big,
Hmm.
then I need to monitor both the babies. I want to take both these babies to maximum time till I can deliver them and not damage both the babies.
Okay.
So I will more look at the smaller baby and try pulling it till a time when this baby is getting compromised, and then deliver both of them.
Okay.
I can't deliver one and leave the other inside. No, they both have to come out together.
Okay.
So here it's very important to know when to deliver. So we will try pulling them with Dopplers, blood supply of the smaller baby till it becomes little compromised, and that is the time if we take them out, then the NICU can take care.
Wow.
So we want to at least take them till about 28 to 30 weeks so that the NICU can take care. At Surya we can even salvage babies which are 24 and 26 weeks.
Yeah.
So it
Wow.
depends on how much can we pull on. The more we can pull on, every day counts for the babies outside.
Wow.
So we pull inside as long so that they can be taken care by the NICU people
Later. Okay.
without damage to
What a
the-
challenging job you have.
And when you have two babies, it is more challenging
Yeah.
because we want to save both the babies.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Thanks to people like you who help all our moms have beautiful babies. Ma'am, after the multiple pregnancies, my next question is around neonatal outcomes. Basically, how can you really improve? Because you were talking about the baby is born later and then the NICU takes care of. But then, if the baby is inside, how the neonatal outcome can be, taken care of by treating the baby inside? How can you improve that?
So you come into a world when the fetus is inside the womb. So there's a whole world inside. You need to get that concept that the baby comes out is a different world, the baby inside is a different world.
Okay.
And the baby inside does everything. It yawns, it passes urine, it cries, it smiles inside. We can see it on ultrasound.
Yeah.
So actually the baby has to have a whole life inside before it comes into another world of ours.
Yeah.
So inside there is lot more to do than just looking at on ultrasound. So earlier we used to do ultrasound and say, okay, this baby has this disorder. We can't do anything about it. When it comes out, we will see. And by the time it used to come out, the baby might have that disorder which has become very bad, and the pediatrician may not be able to take care.
Yeah.
So now we started treating the fetuses inside. So there are certain disorders where you can actually go into the uterus and treat the fetus inside and take them out at a time when the baby can be salvaged out. So this we call it as medical fetal therapy.
Okay.
So there can be medicines for it, there can be surgeries for it, and instead of doing big surgeries, we use small needles by ultrasound or by fetoscopy.
Wow.
So ultrasound guided needles to treat fetuses. We transfuse blood inside. We treat medical disorders like thyroid inside to the fetus. We can treat arrhythmias inside by giving drugs for heart rate abnormalities in the baby. Then there are certain surgeries we can do. We can put shunts between the lung fluid and outside, between the kidney and outside, between
Wow.
the bladder and outside.
Wow.
So that the
So
baby
medical science
becomes
has made
okay.
it all possible now.
So we are treating the fetus inside so that they come out in a good condition.
Wow.
So in addition, maybe if we have a disorder, we monitor it and try taking it out in a team place where you have a good tertiary team available.
Yeah.
So you may have a NICU which is good, a pediatric surgeon which is good, an obstetrician and a fetal medicine person. So if you have everybody together and the baby with a disorder comes out, at least it can be taken care of rather than it being at some place and then transferring without knowing what the disorder is. So one is finding out disorder, treating it, and then maybe do surgeries for it and bring it out in a place where you have a good tertiary team available. I think that's
so
the
the
best.
quote which says that it takes a village to raise a child, यहाँ पे it takes a village to even give
Bring
birth
out
to bring up
to
a
baby
child.
with a good outcome.
Yeah, and that too you're saying inside also it's possible now. So thank you, fantastic. Ma'am, a lot of our mothers, because we announced your pre-buzz and mothers are aware that you have come on the line. Let's send certain questions. I would like to take those with you. The first question comes from Poonam Pandit, who's saying what precautions should be kept in mind for such high-risk pregnancies, which I identify.
One is identify that you are a high risk or not. So you look at whether your age is more, whether you have diabetes, hypertension, you are on drugs, you can stop them, what I told you. Then in addition, you need to go to a good tertiary hospital where you have facilities available. If you have a baby with a genetic disorder, you need to meet them beforehand. And also know the complications which can come up. So you need to know about the symptoms which can be worrying. So if you are pregnant and you have bleeding or you have cramps or fever or headache or excessive vomiting, you need to go to your doctor so that they can take care of those problems. So you need to know about the disorder so that you can report to your doctor fast rather than it becoming worse.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I suppose, Poonam, you got your answer here. But Sonal Parag Kawat is saying that what does antenatal care, ANC, means?
Antenatal care is whatever you come to us and we manage your pregnancy. So we are actually looking at your baseline investigation. We do ultrasound, we look at your blood pressure, weight, see that the pregnancy is going on well. So you do one in the first 3 months and then you do it every month in the second half of your pregnancy.
Okay.
And your pregnancy and you would do it more frequently every week. So you are actually going to a doctor and the doctor is trying to look for any complications that you have, whether the baby is growing well and the mother is not having any problems.
When you suggested, I'm sorry, you were saying first?
Whenever you conceive, that means you miss your period, you need to come to us.
Yeah.
Then around 11 to 12 weeks is the time when we do a nuchal translucency scan, when we look at genetic disorders,
Okay.
and we do a screening test at that time. And then one every month after that, after 12 weeks, once a month, and we do an anomaly scan, that is look at the baby's structure at 18 to 20 weeks of gestation, and then monitor the baby's growth. So anytime you have any growth disorder, then we do your next scans and look at Doppler and other things. In the last 1 month, we call a little more frequently, because we want to weekly, so that we want to see that she doesn't have any.
So that's totally as per doctor's description
Yes,
and advice.
as a routine. So antenatal care is looking after the mother and the fetus together.
Okay. So I suppose the term wasn't known to the mothers, otherwise we all go through this time, I'm sure we all. So ma'am, what a fantastic live. In fact, it's not difficult subject that when I read in the pre-bus, even I was confused. But now after knowing that, what exactly it is, I feel, your kind of experts are making life easier for all the mothers. In fact, thanks to the medical science and people like you who are making it easier for our moms, especially with high-risk pregnancies, have a normal baby. So mothers, if you're watching this, doctor said a very important thing. In fact, I want her to say that again as a golden bye-bye word also. Ma'am, you were talking about a very important thing that हर mother को लगता है ये मेरे साथ तो नहीं होगा, because I never had that kind of, my mother never had it. I'm all healthy. So do you want to say something to them, because I noticed you mentioned that line.
Yeah, I think we all need to know that anything can go wrong anytime. We're driving on the road, nothing happens, but sometimes any accident can happen. So we have to be prepared for that beforehand. And there is this speciality of a feto-maternal medicine. So fetal medicine are people who look at the fetus alone, and obstetrician are people who look at obstetrics alone. And a person having a combination of maternal and fetal medicine are very few, and if there is a complication, if there is a high risk, you need to have a person who looks after both the things together. The ones where you have a high risk. So you need to be, you should know where you're going, the hospital that you're going, where you have all the facilities available.
Yeah, so for me also it was first time that I understood that someone who can be a ops as well as who can take care of the fetal medicine. So mothers, I don't know if you are aware of this, but if you're aware, do let me know in the comments that you have been to someone who, who's a specialist in both, because I have met someone for the first time and I'm so glad to meet you, ma'am. And thank you, Vandana ma'am, for taking out time and being on this live. I know you have a very busy schedule, but it means a lot to all our moms who have listened to this live, and I'm sure you all will get benefited from it.
Any questions you have, can you put on the post and we'll answer them.
Yeah, that's the fantastic thing. So mothers, if you're watching this live later and not in the real time, you can ask your questions in the comments, and we'll make sure that Surya Hospital's team will ensure that they talk to doctor and get your questions answered. So keep commenting, keep writing, and mothers, I hope you enjoyed this live as much as we did, because we have this, we always try to bring in these kind of amazing experts to you month on month with the help of amazing hospitals like these, to make sure that we sitting at home can have an access to these kind of domain experts. So on that note, bye bye, and thank you for all your love, and thank you for watching us live right now. Bye bye.